Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and there is much disquiet, not to say anger even, in the medical profession over planned changes to the responsibilities of doctors, nurses, consultants, senior medical people, by giving them an extension of the policing powers. They want to change the law in some way that would extend the right of detention, of arrest, to medical staff without the need of police to attend and without the need of any kind of habeas corpus or even due process. This is clearly wrong. And indeed, the House of Lords has effectively, pushed it back to the House of Commons on a couple of times. There's been a whole series and rafts of defeats of the government over their bill. What's madly bad is that one Conservative Lord actually proposed the changes that's put this in, and it was then backed by the government but not by the Lords, and it's all going through. They put it back to the Lords again. They're going to probably use the Parliament Act to push this through. But the psychiatric profession, what is it called? The Royal College of Psychiatrists, the Association of Ambulance Chief Executives, and the Royal College of Nursing, as well as the Association of Directors of Adult Social Services, are all among them saying these changes to this mental health bill will cause significant harm and with potentially dangerous situations and putting their members into basically the front line of a war zone. Police are trained and equipped often with stab belts, stab vests and things. They're the ones equipped to handle arresting people, particularly those who are under some kind of mental distress, perhaps. Nurses, perhaps not so. They're not trained to do it, and they shouldn't be. And of course, one of the other problems is if say a doctor does arrest and detain someone, that doctor could be liable later on, to be sued. And so all these professional bodies are saying, no, don't do it. A lot of the Lords are saying don't do it, but the government seems to be pushing in that direction. It absolutely wants to do it. Now, as I say, even though the government has suffered a load of defeats on it, but it's still going through. Now, why does the government want to give doctors and nurses and whatever the power of arrest? Well, it's simple. You're already paying these people because they work in the NHS. And it's a way of getting a policing on the cheap. If you can get somebody arrested and held without having to send out an officer to arrest them, then, hey, you can put him up there and put him in a secure mental unit. Where's the court case? Where's his rights? Where's his lawyer? These aren't built in and baked into the bill. This is a doctor making a medical decision to arrest someone, without due process. And the doctors are saying, no, we are not having this. We do not want it. And of course, the more the government push this, the harder it's going to be, especially, and wait for another video later, when the doctors are not very happy with the government as it stands. So they're already mooting possible industrial action over this should it be forced on them. The government is saying that this reduces police involvement in mental health emergencies because that could lead to serious risk for both patients, if a policeman has to arrest them. But that's fine. You're just shifting the risk away from the police, who are trained for such things, onto clinicians and nurses who maybe aren't. And it's unacceptable. And that's what they're saying. And I think they're probably right. It just stinks. It's just policing on the cheap, but without all the requisite safety for the rights of people. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I think it's terrible, but you're not hearing it too much out there in the mainstream media. They try to keep this one quiet for some reason. Perhaps goodly, you can understand why. Thanks a lot. Bye.